いな、いいな。いいなだ、いいなだ。今日の夜のそう私にいたらこいつでおい
なんだ
準備
あなた様のために。
さあ実験を始めよう。エーテルサイト起動。チャンス。
これは僕たちのおごりだよ。
火力制圧。
ほらピッチーは訓練用のダミーだよ。
隙だらけを体が見える。甘く見た代償よ。自業自得ね。
僕たちをくれないだ。
殲滅作戦執行準備。
変流の修正を行います。現実支援レディー。黒ビルに弾道を計算中。これが戦いの戦術。戦術支援レディー。
攻撃用意。
息もさせません。自業自得ね。避けて。
中火でまんべんなく焼こうね。
破壊行動開始。
エーテルサイト起動。連携攻撃準備よし。制圧する攻撃。
シード全速力。お、敵討ちだね。
ほころびが体勢が崩れた。甘く見た代償よ。私の後ろに。
くれないだピッチードパンチオン。
変流の修正を行います。連携攻撃準備よし。
ほらピッチード訓練用のダミーだよ。ピッチードパンチオコブリン。
見抜いてます。自業自得ね。体勢が崩れた。転びが見える。甘く見た代償よ。エーテルサイト起動。食らいつきます。制圧する攻撃です。前日支援レディー。
さっき倒したのと何が違うの？
ラジャ転びが見える。自業自得ね。温存してくださいアンビー。変流の修正を行います。前日支援レディー。
食らいつこう。
火力せよ。
今回は長持ちするといいね。
見抜いてます。甘く見た代償よ。隙だらけ。息もさせません。エーテルサイト起動。出力増大。前日支援レディー。連携攻撃準備よし。
駿河東京。
ストーミング武器になって
息もさせません。
Nice. I got lucky on placement. I was able to have her skill, your EX special, apply the debuff, or apply the marks of both of them. And they were already grouped close enough together where I could smack them both.
夜の命令勝利はアンビ出撃可能よ。
Oh, she needs those, but not these. God, it gets confusing when... Oh, never mind. Just gonna use all the parts anyway. Well, Grace is all done then. At least.
さあ、実験を始めよう。
私はあくまで技術屋だよ。
Oh, actually, yeah. How does my brace? My brace actually built well. I don't remember if I actually looked at her gear since I built her. Oh wow, so they're not even leveled. Shit. Oh wow, this is kind of it's really up in the air how to build it. So electric damage has impact. Oh, she needs anomaly mastery. Oops. Shit, do I have an electric anomaly mastery? Oh, I do. Wow, damn, that's actually a really good one. Now let's watch it. Actually, that's the thing, is that the only bad stats in this are HP. So as long as it doesn't roll that, now of course I say that, and that's going to roll a shitload of HP, right? Yeah, 3 HP. Are you fucking kidding me, man? At least they're going to roll crit rate, crit damage, which is not terrible. But... Okay, so this needs proficiency. So they... Oh, we actually do have not a terrible one there, too. So let's just replace that. That's not terrible either. Okay, so is this... Do I have an electric one of these? No, I didn't think so. Being on set for this is very, very tough. Do I have any other electric? No, it seems like not. Okay, well, whatever. I don't have anything better. Oh, wow, actually had crit rate enrolled into it. More flat HP, thanks. Okay, so one of these needs to be swapped out. Oh, actually, crap, attack is more useful. Attack is useful. But this actually rolled an anomaly proficiency, which is a hard stat to get. Although realistically, this is attack. This is attack. So this has the same crit rate, but then I guess this will be better for the most part. Actually, wait, let me see. Oh, it's actually not that good. So let's see if there's a better. Ooh, there's a better one. Okay, let's just enhance this. See how it rolls. Okay, so replace that. Okay, there we go. And it's not terrible. Ooh. Yeah, for stuff like this, you kind of want to go. Okay, so not great rolls. So you can sort of crit rate. With all of see, that's the thing. So even with all of that, her crit rate is still pretty bad. That's why it's like you generally just don't want to go for the crit rate rolls. So her anomaly efficiency is actually not that bad. Is it because this gives it a bunch? This gives wait what? 10 ratio. How do I? If this gives 10 ratio, how is she? How is her anomaly proficiency that high? Like this doesn't give. It gives 92. She has. I mean, she'd be 180 normally then. So where's she use that extra 60? Probably some. Oh no, this is anomaly mastery, not proficiency. Where the fuck is she getting those stats then? I know I had some substat rolls. I don't think I had that many. Yeah, it's like 18 here, 18 here. It's a little bit. And this does increase it for a bit too. And this actually does stack, so that's actually pretty cool. So that's definitely useful. But okay, well, I guess she's built for the most part. I just need to level up her skills. Okay, well now that I've done that, it's time to get back to the main story. I just want to gotta spend your resin, gotta spend your stamina. So I'm slowly kind of building all the characters up. Grace has been fixed, kinda. Still not that great though.
もっと通るぜ。よーよーよー、俺様に注目。突っ切ってこうぜ。こいつの出番がついに来た。ブラックホールより暗き邪悪が喜べ。星の光に焼かれる時だ。次元爆裂、銀河をうがつスターライトナイト変身。
禁断の果実テストをパスしてんの？
今日のお前らはついてねえ。親分から前借りしたからね。アップデした最新フォーム、今夜は相手になるぞ。
Oh, interesting. And he recovers HP from holding EX special. Does he lose HP when he does his attacks? It doesn't seem like it. So it seems like it's just a free. Because that's the cool thing, is that like Minato actually loses his HP and gains it back when he does his EX special. So, but the idea I think is he gets buffs when he's low HP. So like, or maybe not. I know Yudahari does increased damage when her HP is low, but then she has a good way to restore her health. Being able to heal himself is pretty cool.
変身完了。そうだ店長、 曖昧はたいて手に入れた鬼強えフォーム。
バイクまであるとはディニーの使いどころが分かりやすいな。
バイクはナイトに必須だ。腕一本ケチってもこいつは譲れねえ。せや排ガスでも食ってろ。おお、
手伝ってあげる。
決まったぜ。これで先のリフトに
So that's interesting. So Cynthia and Billy, but Super Billy. So maybe that does seem like that's the reason why we had Billy in the previous patch. Because like normal Billy and Cynthia did not work well at all. But it seems like it's like, oh, okay, the idea is that we're gonna have. So maybe Cynthia works better with Super Billy. Like I don't know if Super Billy gets any bonuses. Like I don't know if Super Billy gets any bonuses for working with other attackers. So it could be that party comp wise they're still not great together. Like they don't synergize well together, they just do their own thing separately. Which is fine, you know. But you really kind of have to have them both be strong. And that's why in the previous patch, when we at the previous epilogue, where we were stuck with normal Billy and Cynthia, it's like Cynthia, a character we haven't been before, and Billy is just really kind of weak. Like he's one of the starter characters, he's an A rank, so he was never super strong to begin with, and then just has been super power crept by the actually strong characters. So having to play him was rough. I basically didn't even use him at all. Like the only time I ever swapped him was when I was doing parries and stuff, and then swapped immediately back because he was just trash. And even then, it just took so long to kill things. But I was right though. So it was that center thing and the gold thing and the gold square in the center of his chest. That was the button. Because he was like, "Oh, do you see anything special?" And I'm like, I can't remember he had that. But then again, normal Billy, the A rank Billy also has that. So I'm just like, shit, did he have that before? So I'm definitely gonna have to check my old VODs to see if I can find a screenshot of Billy on the screen to see if he had that before. Like, was that always part of his design? Or did they update his design slightly to add it, and then just made the A rank also have it as well? That is the question. Yeah, why would you create something like that? And is it actually an intelligent construct? Because like it looks like he might be Romulan and then just had a lot of robotic modifications, so he could basically be a cyborg at this point. So like it looks like his ears are furry, so the back part of his head seems to be organic. And I guess you can kind of see his neck peeking between the jacket too. Yeah, his left side, you can see peeking between the jacket, looks very metallic, but on the right side of his right side, our left from this angle, you can see that there's his fur. There's the white and the gray behind it, indicating that side is fur, but you don't see that on the other side. So I guess probably part of his body is metallic. So he does seem like a cyborg and not an actual intelligent construct. Oh, I see. I hate that so much. I hate the ones where it's like, oh, we're not going to show you any markers anymore. Oh, what the fuck? I got that question. Yeah, I hate the ones. There was that boss that did that too, where it's like, you gotta dodge. You have to dodge. But we're not gonna show you any markers, so you just have to judge it. So it always throws you for a loop, right? Because you're always like on paying attention to the red and orange flashes. So when they're like, "Oh, hey, by the way," and technically I think it did say that, right? But like you're in the thick of things, so you're not like paying attention to what's on the screen. You're just like, "Okay, I gotta dodge, gotta attack," and then only after getting hit a few times you realize, "Oh, okay." Because it was like slowing down time, and what's really a bad idea about doing it in a situation like this is that I didn't know if the slowing down of time was because of Billy. This is a character I've literally never played before, so maybe don't introduce a new enemy as part of like the first battle. You know, where it's like, hey, yeah, here's your battle where you're going to get used to him, and we're going to introduce a new enemy who does something that is incredibly rare, that we'd only ever seen in an actual boss before, the freezing of time and you having to, and you being like slow as molasses, so you actually had to time your parries during a non-telegraphed, well, no, it was technically telegraphed, non-flashing movement. So you don't get the warning flashes to guide you. You actually had to do it based purely on the telegraph of the boss. So that happened for a boss, but that was the only one who's ever done something like that. So throwing in a random new enemy who also does that, while we're learning how to use a brand new character, is not great. Not the best time to do it. And that's the weird thing, right? Like several mech units, but like there clearly is an organic portion of that thing. So it's not like they could have used his body for all of the robots. So there's a big question of like, did he have a lot of twin brothers and they just kidnapped them all and used them? Did he have other people within his group and they're just using them and they just all happen to look very similar? Like, it is kind of weird, right? It's one thing if they were all pure robotic, like they didn't have fluffy ears or fur on them, then you might be like, yeah, they're actually just mass-produced things. But the fact that there seems to be organic components to it, it's like, well, then how the hell do you mass-produce something that needs organic components and have them look identical, right? Oh, is it yokai?
ってなんだよ。
なんだって
こいつはトロイの木馬。それ
難儀な世の中だよね。絶対に破られないこういうネットにつなげない場所じゃ用心しないとダメだよ。一秒ってことで
妖怪？なんであんたがここ？
せっかくの予期せぬハンティングなんだ。ちょっとくらいは謎めいたままにしておこうよ。
俺に構うな。
It's also kind of weird too, because it's like, well, we do have another attacker. Now, obviously, yeah, like we were using two people to fight against one robot, and now that there's shitloads of robots and one less person, we'd be in trouble, but I guess now we have Promia to help us. Okay, so this is how and why it seems that Promia is the person helping us, or the person on banner, is because now she's popping up to help us. But yeah, that's what I found super weird in the previous epilogue too, because like we were told she worked for Krampus, so I understand why Sissia was always fearful of her because of her past, but like I don't know why we didn't react. Also, it seemed weird because she seemed like Premia was trying to attack us initially until Cynthia came in and attacked to fight and defend us. But then, like, why did Premia do that, right? It wasn't one of those things where it was like, oh, actually, even though she lunged towards us and was seemingly about to attack, she was actually trying to attack a hollow or an ethereal right behind us. There was nothing around, so it was like, yeah, it's kind of unusual. It seemed like it was a little forced. The only thing that could make possible sense would be just like if she did it intentionally to help Cynthia, like she understands, oh shit, this girl's really, really evaded me. I need to do something to kind of get her to break through type thing.
採血官プロメイヤ様、お会いできて光栄です。あらかじめ申し上げておきたいのですが、皆様が先ほど遭遇された事態は私とは一切関係のないものになります。破壊したのははて、何のことやら。私の任務は輸送ルートの監視と安全の確保です。この無駄口を叩くな。そうですよね。
Yeah, that was the kind of big thing. Is like they made her try to seem super antagonistic, whereas like I think at the time when Premia beat the person that was beating up Cynthia, she was trying to help her. So I didn't think of like when she was reaching towards Cynthia was obviously super afraid because she was all like covered in blood and shit, and she just like murdered those assholes. So she was concerned that the same thing was going to happen to her. But my bet was that she was going to just like pet her head and be like, "Don't worry, you know, you'll be okay." But then she just ran away screaming, and so it is silly because like she's incredibly fearful of a person who wasn't really going to harm her in any way, is my guess. So it did seem a little forced because like I already like the second I saw that I'm just like, oh okay, I don't think she is that bad. I think she was trying to help you out, and I think she was going to take care of you and not harm you in any way, but you ran away before that could be proven. So nothing, no. And so then it was just felt a little forced. So it felt a little forced that they were trying to do something like that, like with Premia then like seemingly trying to attack us. Now it could be that she was just running away, right? It could she saw Cynthia and was like, okay, I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna leave, and we just happened to be in the path that she was running away, and Cynthia took that as an attack. But it did seem really, really forced. Because it's like, we know, and it could be that she was also going to like stop her attack right before hitting us to try to like warn us and be like, dude, it's too dangerous for you to be here. If you can't fight, you really shouldn't be here. It could be that she was trying to do that, but like, we haven't really heard anything about that. And the only thing we knew is that it didn't seem like she was going to try to attack Sissia, so Sissia's fears were mostly unfounded. And then we know she's with Krampus, and we already know agents within Krampus who aren't antagonistic towards us. So if she works for Krampus, then she's essentially an ally, or at least not an enemy. So it did seem kind of forced that like how that played out. So yeah, hard to say.
ですが、承知いたしました。
お前たちも出ていけ。この場所はより危険になる。
より危険になる。
どこまで知っ救報グループは可能な限り目立たず、周辺住民に
せっかくの忠告。
なぜ
私たちラミルを探して。
ざっとそんな感じだ。トップスがどうして動いている？
なる。
僕たちと一緒に。
そうだ。救
Yeah, Krampus is basically the police force of Tops. Like the thing that keeps Tops in line. It's in terms of or like in terms of cops, it'd be like the Internal Affairs Bureau, where it's like, yes, they're the ones who keep cops in line. In theory, obviously, we definitely see a lot of cops make not really mistakes, but do illegal things. Or do morally wrong things, and because of the job and the camaraderie between cops, which is understandable, right? Like you are in tough situations a lot of the time. You have to, trust your partners and your other cops with your life. You're obviously going to trust them a lot more than a normal person would trust their coworker. And so when you hear that they did something wrong, you'll protect them, assuming they are not a bad person, right? Oh no. If they did this, I'm giving them a huge benefit of the doubt. Whereas, like, from an outside perspective, it's like, dude, like, there's very few contexts where that is actually an okay action to have performed.
And
I think that kind of becomes a problem, is that the problem is we definitely get levels of camaraderie that exceed moral bounds, in the sense that people, it's one thing to be like, oh, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, he was in a bad situation. We can understand how a situation could spiral. But then there's also the ones that actually like literally know that they're doing illegal things and still protecting them. And that's where it's like, okay, well, you've crossed a few boundaries, right? It's like, dude, like, they're committing it. It's one thing to think, oh, well, I think it was a mistake. Because I work in the same job, I understand how things can go wrong. And I don't think they intended to do that. But then, like, it's another thing to know, hey, this person is a, habitual breaker of rules and laws. And, you still, like, cover for them. Because we do see every now and then, some policemen get taken to task for something they did wrong, and then you find out, oh yeah, they've actually been doing a lot of wrong things. They've been disciplined, they've been written up multiple times, and it's just like, I'm sorry, but at a certain point, you should just fire them, right? It's the same thing for criminals too. Like, there's definitely a small group of criminals, like a small subset of criminals, who have like double-digit arrests and convictions. I'm sorry, but if you've been convicted of a crime more than 10 times, then I think you should just go into prison forever. Like, I'm sorry, but like 10 times is too much. and I mean like 10 times total for your entire life. I'm just like, you know, not like, oh, 10 times within a month. I mean, like, no. Like, it's kind of like the 3 strikes and you're out, right? I think 3 strikes is pretty good too. I think I would be fine with it being 3. But like, 10 is obvious. Like, at 10, and no matter what the crime is, no matter how small it is, if it's 10 jaywalking convictions, then you're just prison forever, right? Because I'm sorry, if you don't learn something after fucking up 10 times, then you kind of don't really deserve to be in the public sphere anymore. You know, it's just like I think 10 is just a nice blanket number because it's like you're in the double digits at that point, and no matter what the crime is, if you're clearly not going to follow the rules of society, then we should just take you out of society. You know, it's just that simple. Because like you see these crazy people who have like 40 convictions of stuff, and they're just like, and the judges are letting them like walk or go on probation and stuff, or giving them like really low sentences, and I'm just like, dude, no. There should be a law to be like, nope, if you go double digit, you're in jail for life. You know? Because I think one of the problems with judges is that we have sentencing guidelines, you know? We have sentencing guidelines where it's like, actually, one sec. Like, we have sentencing guidelines, so it's like, okay, well, here's the minimum, here's the maximum type things, which are good. Like, so you can't, like, you know, a maximum sentence, like, of a year for a misdemeanor, like, yeah, or whatever it is, right? It's good because, like, some crimes are really small, and you don't want a judge to be like, oh, you committed this small infraction, so now we're going to give you 10 years in prison for it. It's like, you know, you don't want judges to get too, because, like, for whatever reason, right? Like, because they could get emotional for some reason, like maybe it's, you know, walking on someone's lawn has a $1,000 fine or 30 days in prison, right? But because this is a judge who has people walk on their lawn and has killed their grass and flowers, they might have a vendetta against people, and he's like, oh, I'm going to lock you up for 10 years. So it's good to have minimum and maximum sentencing so that, one, judges can't go crazy and give them an unfair punishment for their crime. And minimum is good too, because it's like, well, we also don't want judges to be too lenient. We're like, no, there should be a minimum sentencing for stuff like, you shouldn't be able to just have a nice judge basically waive away your crimes. And that's what was so crazy about, like, there was this, like, there's this boy who, I think he, I don't know, was he an adult at the time? I don't know if he got away because he was underage. I think he was an adult, but basically he raped and almost murdered a girl, or maybe he raped and almost murdered like 2 girls. So it was like fucking crazy shit, right? It's just like, and basically he got no jail time for that. The judge was like, yeah, no jail time, just like probation and community service. And it's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like, no. That kind of shit should have a minimum of like 10 years, right? A minimum of 10 years. Like, that is fucking dog shit. There should, and I do think sentencing for sex-related crimes is way too lenient in general. You know, because like I've seen like some of the Chris Hansen like arrests on his YouTube channel and stuff like that, and they talk about sentencing for some of them, and it's just like, I'm sorry, but like, you solicited an underage girl for sex and you get like a year in prison? Like, no, fuck that. 5 years at the very least. 5 years should be the bare minimum for anything. Well, for any, I think 5 years for actually really any sex-related crimes, because it seems like it's just way too lenient on this shit. And these are like horrible things, right? Like, it's just really fucked up. Like, this is the kind of shit that can fuck up someone for life, right? This happens to someone and they're like mentally traumatized. Like, you get robbed, you can probably, you know, you'll probably survive, right? It's a traumatic moment, sure, but you know, you'll get over it much faster than if you were like raped or something, you know? So it's just like, it's crazy how low some of these sentencings can be. I'm just like, no, for that kind of shit, I think 5 years should be the minimum for just any sex-related crime. And I think any sort of like child sex crimes should all be 10 years minimum, you know? And I think any sort of sentencing for this type of shit should be consecutive, not concurrent. Because I have seen other shit like that too, where it's like, oh yeah, we arrested them for these crimes, and then they just all take place concurrently, which means, like, let's say you get convicted for 10 things, and each one of them gives you a year in prison. Well, if it's concurrent, all you have to spend in prison is a year, because all of them are going on back to back. So they're all going simultaneously. So when you go into prison, that 1 year starts ticking down for every single one of your crimes. I think that's a little bullshit. I think they should be consecutive, because it's like the idea is that so not only did you commit one crime during this one event, you committed a lot of crimes, and I think that should increase the severity, right? Now, maybe 10 years, like if you commit 10 offenses and get convicted and they're all a year in prison, 10 years might be excessive depending on what the crimes were, but there should be some sort of there should be some sort of like thing where it's like, okay, well, if you have 3 convictions, then we start you start adding some of them, right? So it might not be 10 years of adding all the 1 years together. Maybe it ends up being 5 years or something as a minimum type shit, you know? I just think sentencing is way too lenient for some of these things, and I think some judges can be way too lenient in and of themselves. And I think we need more hardline judges to be like, because like there have been some crazy people who have been giving some crazy light sentences for shit, and it's especially annoying when you see like the person then go out and commit more crimes again. So it's like, great, awesome. So thank you for giving me a lenient sentence so he could then go out in there and commit more crime. You know? And I do think I am kind of a believer that maybe judges should be punished for criminals they let loose who then reoffend, right? Put some of their skin in the game, where it's like, I'm sorry, judge, but like, if you decide to be lenient to someone and they go, you decide, well, I'll give you another shot, right? And they go out and commit a crime, you should be held semi-liable for that shit. You know? Maybe a fine, maybe prison time yourself, right? Maybe even fired, right? Or maybe like if that happens like 5 times total within your career, you get fired, right? Something like that. Where it's just like, yeah, put something on the line so judges will not go out of their way to be overly lenient. That they have to follow the rule of law, right? Especially that guy, especially the high schooler who, you know, raped and almost killed a girl. It's like, dude, like, no prison time whatsoever? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, community service? It's like, no. And like, what made it incredibly suspicious, too, is because the kid was, like, part of a rich family. And so it was like, his parents were wealthy and well-connected within the city. And so it's just like, yeah. So a judge within that county gives him an incredibly light sentence. It does bring the idea that potentially, you know, she was bribed, either explicitly or implicitly, which of course is like, you know, no one likes corruption, well, other than the people being corrupt. So it just stunk of corruption, and it is a shame that we that this is possible in our legal system. I think it shouldn't be. I think that there should be stronger minimum sentencing for a lot of types of crimes, and that judges can't waive that shit away. It's like, I'm sorry, because that's the reason why they're able to get away with it, is because there might be no minimum sentencing, or they might give extenuating circumstances. So while the conviction is set in stone, the judges can be complete dicks about how restitution is awarded, right? Like the Afroman case was a very good example of that, where Afroman has his house raided on a bullshit clue. Like, we don't even know where the police got the hint or the call in or whatever reason they got a warrant to go raid his house, but we don't know. I don't know if they ever really called into question the validity of that claim, or if they ever tried to follow up with who gave that tip. But basically, they raided his house. It was complete bullshit. So they found nothing. And Afroman, and then, the way that the police are is that you're not really obligated to pay anything back at all. So like even though that was a fuck up, and they did destroy his property while getting in there, they are not obligated to pay it back at all, which is understandable to a degree, right? It's like, because like it was like the tip was like someone was being held, like he had tons of drugs and someone was being kidnapped and held hostage, or like kidnapped and held captive in that home. Like, sure, like I don't want our police having their hands tied when that could be a potential situation, right? If that is the potential situation, sure, right? Like, please go try to rescue them as soon as you possibly can, right? Don't be worried that, oh no, what if this tip is wrong? And now we have to pay, for the door we broke down and shit like that, right? I get that. I understand why they aren't held accountable for stuff like that, because it would hinder their job in times where it's really urgent and really necessary. So it's unfortunate. But I do understand it to a degree. And so, but the dude obviously was pissed because, his house was raided and his shit was broken. So he started making songs on YouTube about the situation, basically insulting the cops for doing that. And, then they sued him for defamation because he was insulting, which is bullshit because, his freedom of speech, he's a freedom to express his opinions. So the whole case was just bullshit in general. But the problem is that when Afroman won on all counts, so basically they sued him for defamation and lost in every way possible, Afroman still had to pay his legal fees. And usually it's the kind of thing where it's like, oh, well, if you're able to defend yourself, you're able to get the people who tried to prosecute you to cover your legal fees. But the judge was like, nope, you got to go 50-50. They pay theirs, you pay yours. And it's like, well, wait a minute, what? So basically, they come to him with some wild claim. They're proven that their claim is bullshit. But then the person defending loses out on a ton of money trying to defend themselves from those claims. So it's just like, the problem is that it just opens up the door for people just creating lawsuits just to silence people or, browbeat them, right? If you have more money than the other person, you could sue them. Even if you lose, you could bankrupt them with legal fees and then just fuck off, right? Be like, yeah, sure, I spent a bunch of money that I was willing to lose to fuck you over and bring you into bankruptcy for what happened, right? Which could, and because of the bank, and because of like, if that is a standard practice, even once you're being sued, you might just be like, fuck, I'll just settle then, right? I'll just do what they want because I can't afford legal fees, especially if I'm going to have to pay them even if I win, right? So, shit like that, right? So basically, the issue is just judges. It's just like, while a jury can decide the verdict, the judge can drastically affect the sentencing and reparations and all that shit, which is fine on paper. Sure, right? They're the ones who understand the legal system. They understand, what the laws say and how much should be, how much time they should do and all that shit. But the problem is, of course, that judges, like everyone else, are people. And people are prone to make mistakes or make emotional and or stupid judgments. Or, in the case of that rapist, to just fucking be obviously corrupt. So, it's a shame. Oh yeah, that doesn't really have anything to do with this at all. I don't know why I brought it up. Oh yeah, it's because Krampus is like a police force of the rich. Not for the rich, but of the rich. They're supposed to be policing the rich. Whereas TOPS is the organization of the wealthiest individuals and wealthiest companies in the city. Krampus is supposed to be the one overseeing that organization to make sure that they stay in line and don't commit illegal activities themselves. And then I likened it to the internal affairs of the police force. And then we just kind of went on a little... I went on a little side tangent.
それほど私の同僚が気に入ったか。
リリーに対する全面的なウイルス駆除を実行し、ファイアウォールを更新しました。今後はスターライトナイトの具
体例が上がるということは、
サンキューな AI。
調子に乗んないでよ。あーしは治安局の人間として君のこと四六時中ガン見してるから。
覚えておく。
Oh, cool, we get Premiere now.
あれって。
Oh, hey. Yeah, that was the things she was able to do. She was able to freeze people. And you can see it's her little feather. But it does beg the question of how she's doing this. From the context clues, we know... We not really know. From the context clues, we suspect that she is someone from at least 100 years ago. But that doesn't really explain who or what she is. Oh. Okay, so... There's just stores. Here's a bloom. Okay, so she's an anomaly agent, it seems. It's kind of confusing.
マンドレイク、周囲のエーテリアスの防具を強化している。戦闘効率を考えれば優先して排除すべき。もちろんいたぶるのが趣味なら最後に残すといて。
いやいや、速攻で蹴りつけるのが俺らだろ。
Oh, okay, there we go. I was wondering about that. I was wondering when my gauge would actually go down. What do I not have enough energy for now?
私の忍耐は有限。お前の
I don't understand what those little dots on her gauge are.
.地図情報を解析したところ、この先のルートは全て同じエーテルの裂け目に向かっているようだ。
彼女が来たのならその裂け目を通ったはず。
なあ、なんかエーテリアスの数減ってねえか。
先に道を塞ぐ敵を片付けた者がいる。
Okay, unfortunately I ranted too long, so I don't have time to do... Oh wait, can I not leave? Oh shit, can't leave. Fuck. Oh wait, no, there it was. It was pause. Okay, cool. Normally if you try to open up the map or something, it'll then give you the pause menu. For some reason this time it did, but they had their own separate button for it. But yeah, so I'm going to pause here, and then come back in, and come back and do this more tomorrow. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later today, because I'll be popping on to Final Fantasy XIV again. I'm going to try focusing a lot on doing a lot more of the... Well, okay, so what I'll probably do is I'll probably log into Final Fantasy, queue up for Thalia, then go live once the queue pops. And then after that, I'll run a bunch of variant dungeons to get some crystal paste, to get more crystal paste. Basically, I want to make sure I get the glam fully while making use of the crystal paste rewards. And then once that's all done, then I can just do roulettes to get the remaining paste. Because I think at that, once I get all the hot shards I need for the second set of glam, then I can, I think I only need like 100 more crystal paste to be done. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.